So, remember when I did Nintendo Heroes Good to Most Good? Now it's time for the opposite way round. Moving from the heroes to the villains. This is Nintendo Villains Good to Evil. Before I say who gets the gold medal of good, I just want you guys to know everyone in the good category are Kirby characters. With that out of the way, the least evil Nintendo villain has to be Meta Knight. This should come as no surprise. The only truly villainous thing he did was try to dispose of Dreamland's lazy lifestyle and conquer it. He tried to prevent Kirby from stopping him, but failed. After his failure, he leaves Dreamland the way it is and sets off to protect it from danger. From one great swordsman to another, the silver medal of good goes to Galactonite. After Meta Knight learns that Galactonite was sealed away for fear his power was too great, he had a fight with him to improve his strength, more than once. But his greatest appearance comes from Super Kirby Clash, specifically from his Heart Spear attack. It hints he sealed Void Termina away. That's what makes him one of the lesser evils. Earning the bronze medal of good is that there King Dedede. When will they ever explain why he stole all the food in Dreamland? The guy's not all bad, however, aside from his appearance in the anime, but that's not what I'm counting. He helps defeat Queen Sectonia, Nightmare, Magolor, Void Termina, and the Beast Pack. This moment always hits me. Finishing the good category is Magolor. After losing to a fight with Landia, he rushes to planet Popstar to find Kirby, by making him fix his Lore Star Cutter, only to steal the Master Crown from Landia and gain ultimate power. He then betrays his friends, tries to take over Popstar, but ends up failing. This causes the Master Crown to take control of him. After that, Magolor finds himself and his power is lost in another dimension. He journeys through to recover them, and destroys the Master Crown, thus atoning for his misdeeds. Next are 3 entries in the gray area, villains who don't do good but don't mean bad. The first few are Shiver Fry and Big Man, better known as Deep Cut. While they can be show-offs, they're still forces to be reckoned with. At least they came round by the end. They helped the new Agent 3 catch up to Mr. Grizz, perform Calamari Incantation 3 mix, and the reason they were bandits is because they wanted to help Splatsville. Speaking of secondary antagonists, next is the secondary antagonist of Kid Icarus Uprising, Dark Pit. Created from the Mirror of Truth by Pandora, it only takes him a few seconds to turn against her. But of course he's also enemies of Palutena and Pit. Just don't call him Patu. On the bright side, he put his differences aside to fight the Chaos Kin and save Palutena. After Pit saves him from the Chaos Kin, he revives him with the Rewind Spring, and pulls Pit outside of Hades. But why did he join the forces of nature? Finishing the gray area are Wario and Waluigi. Okay guys, I have to mention this. Before I was interested in Mario, I didn't know who Bowser was. I thought Wario and Waluigi were the villains. But boy was I wrong. Still, they're famous for being rivals to Mario and Luigi, alright. Now I'm in the dark side. These villains are the bad and the evil. I didn't want to rank Mr. Grizz as too evil, mainly because of how sympathetic and tragic his backstory was. But he's still evil nonetheless. After creating the Fuzzy Ooze, he tends to use it on the whole world to transform every living creature into a mammal. But what did dehydrating cuttlefish have to do with it? He tries to stop Agent 3, and almost succeeds in doing so, but DJ Octavio stood in his way. After his defeat, he gives up on trying to bring mammals back and accepts his defeat. If he returns, I hope he redeems himself. Similarly to how Dark Pit is Pit's rival, Wolf O'Donnell is also Fox's rival. Although most of his bad actions are following orders from Andross, who we'll get to later. And he does put his differences with Fox aside in Star Fox Assault. Next is the Koopa Prince, Bowser Jr. debuting as Shadow Mario in Super Mario Sunshine. He would later become the secondary antagonist of the series. And after Bowser transformed into Fury Bowser in Bowser's Fury, he was desperate to save his father, so he formed a truce with Mario. Although the credits show he was responsible for turning Bowser into Fury Bowser as he was pulling a prank on him by painting him black, not to be confused with Paper Mario Color Splash. The goddess of nature, Viridi, is up next. After Hades made the humans go mad, Viridi started getting mad at them. Given that she's the goddess of nature, she despises anyone who messes with nature. So much so that she commits, or at least tries to commit, genocide on humanity by dropping a bomb on them. But when the Underworld Army proved to be the bigger threat, she put her differences aside to help Pit and Palutena, only to revert back to her original ways, so she's not quite a redeemed villain. King of the Koopas, Bowser finishes the last of the lesser evils. You've seen Bowser do it all these days. Kidnapping Peach, trying to kill Mario, and trying to conquer the galaxy. But hey, at least he's a caring father. And he sometimes teams up with Mario. Alright, these next 4 villains are pretty average when it comes to villainy. One example would be the central antagonist of Super Paper Mario, Count Bleck. Once upon a time, his name was originally Blue Mir, who came across a lady by the name of Tympany. They formed a romantic relationship, however, Blue Mir's father prevented them from staying together, as he turned Tympany into a pixel, now with her new name, Tippy. This breaks Bleck's heart, and he threatens to kill his own father just to get back at him for removing Tympany. If that wasn't enough, he gets Peach and Bowser to marry each other just to create a Chaos Heart to destroy all dimensions. But of course, he was influenced by the Dark Prognosticus. After he and Tympany reunite, they marry each other to destroy the Chaos Heart for good. Doing so prevented all worlds from being destroyed by the Void. Pardon the rhyme. From one redeemed villain of darkness to another, next is Medusa. She orders her underworld underlings to attack humanity, even though she was following orders herself. After having enough of being Hades' puppet, she boxes his head, saving Pit from his deadly attack. Though it sent her back to the grave, it was still something noble to do. Is King K. Rool a crocodile or an alligator? At least he's definitely a reptile. He first steals Donkey Kong's banana hoard even though he doesn't like bananas, then he kidnaps Donkey Kong and abuses him, and then most recently, as far as I can tell, he attempts to destroy his island. If he were taken more seriously, he would have ranked higher. Finishing up the average evildoers is Ganondorf. I can't talk about Tears of the Kingdom due to spoiler alert. Hands down the most popular threat to Hyrule. He's always trying to rule it with an iron fist. No matter how many times he fails, Ganondorf will never give up. This is mainly because of Demise from The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Still, no matter how many times you bury him into the ground, Ganondorf will always return. Alright, these last upcoming villains have done too much to be ranked near the lesser evils or are absolutely heartless. The first of these is Fawful. He may not be taken seriously like King K. Rool, but he's still a threat. Originally serving Cackletta, he would infect Toads and Goombas with the Blorps virus, followed by retrieving the Dark Star to steal its dark power. And just before he explodes, he tries to take Mario, Luigi, and Starlo with him. Underestimating him like idiots of stupidity could easily lead to your own downfall. Next up is a more serious villain, Commander Tartar. Faking his promise to take Agent 8 and Cuttlefish to the Promised Land, he would actually attempt to smoothie his 10,008 subjects into smoothie blending, just to power up a weapon. And here I thought I was on a roll to not make one mistake this time. Is so he could power up a weaponized statue to destroy Inkopolis out of hatred. He's not any more evil because he cares about his creator. From a planetary threat to a global threat, next is Andross. This guy just loves messing with the universe, even being the cause of Fox losing his father, James McCloud. But at least he might care for his grandson, Dash. I don't know too much about him though, so I'm gonna move on. Some people might say Mother Brain shouldn't be this evil due to losing her child, but that's actually not canon. So then which of her actions are canon? She betrays Kozo, declares Samus as a tool to mentally break her, and how about killing baby Metroid right in front of her? Onward to the most recent Mario villain, if movies don't count, Cursa. Originally a fragment that belonged to the Megabug, it would slowly gain sentience and attack Rosalina, the Rabbids, and the Lumas. She would then possess Rosalina, consume the sparks, and brainwash Bowser's minions. She doesn't even care for her own minions. One failure from Midnight and Bedrock, she smacks them to the ground. Good riddance. Next up is Dark Samus. After gathering energy from Samus's Phazon suit, she would go as far as out to try to poison the universe and take control of the space pirates, apparently. Onward to the most evil Kirby villain, Fecto Elfilis. He brainwashes the Beast Pack, tries to drop Planet Popstar onto the Forgotten Land, and split Leon Gar's soul apart into 300 pieces. Just to name a few. Starting the top 5 is not Mario's enemy, but Luigi's, King Boo. He no longer cares for his minions, or Helen Gravely, even after she saved him from Professor Egad. After losing to Luigi once, he puts his hatred solely on him, and even tries to destroy the universe just to dispose of him. Not to mention, trap an entire hotel with Luigi on it. Just outside the top 3 is the Lord of the Underworld, Hades. As the true villain of Kid Icarus Uprising, he eats souls, uses them to make new monsters, brings the Underworld army back from the dead, devours Pit, flies off to fuel off some souls during battle. Honestly, he's the funniest character of the game. He's not in the top 3 because he does team up with Pit against the Aurum, and Pit wouldn't have been able to enter the Aurum Hive if not for him hijacking one of the Aurum ships. Earning the bronze medal of evil is the fearsome no-nonsense dragon, Ridley. What can I say? He murders people for fun, mocks Samus about needing flesh as he ate her mother right in front of her when she was 3 years old. And he doesn't care for his space pirates even if one of them falls. Talk about a heartless pain in the neck. Remixing the silver medal of evil is DJ Octavio due to the same reasons I ranked him as the most evil Splatoon character. You guys were probably waiting for him. But why did I rank him as the most evil Splatoon character? Long story short, I have a few ideas of my own for him. I know it may be a bit too early to rank him this high before it happens, but I don't want to wait for like 2 years, not to mention how impatient I am these days. And I like getting a head start on things. But what exactly did he do before? Well, twice did he steal the Great Zapfish to power himself up. He brainwashes the Octarians and eventually Callie later on, and puts the blame on Cuttlefish for his Octarians disappearing. He helped defeat Mr. Grizz, yes, but what if he was still up to something? That's when my ideas come into the picture, and once they happen, you'll understand why I give him the silver medal of evil. And for the worst of the worst, the gold medal of evil goes to Dementio. Remember when I said Count Bleck went out to destroy all worlds by using the Dark Prognosticus? Well, it's been hinted that Dementio might have wrote that book. Meaning he's been plotting on destroying the multiverse from the word go. He could have easily gotten what he wanted within seconds, but decides to entertain himself first, like torturing Fractale and making him attack Mario. He manipulates everyone around him just for the heck of it. Not to mention he brainwashes people with Floro sprouts that grow on their heads. But if all that wasn't enough, how about the fact that he was the only Mario villain to successfully kill Mario, Peach, and Bowser right in front of Tippy? After he tricks the heroes into wasting their pure hearts on Count Bleck, he steals the Chaos Heart from himself and brainwashes Luigi, followed by fusing them together into Super Dementio and promises to kill Count Bleck a little later. After his defeat, he apparently had a second attempt at destroying the multiverse by leaving behind a shadow of his power to continue controlling the Chaos Heart. During his final battle, he actually does succeed in destroying a few worlds. I can't say for sure, but what if it was half of the multiverse? Honestly, no Nintendo villain can top him. I mean, come on, do you really think Meta Knight could? In my eyes, Dementio is not just the most evil Nintendo or Mario villain, but I would have him as the most evil villain in all of fictional history. Well guys, that's my list. What do you think? Disagree with me? How would you rank them? Let me know in the comments below. So what exactly do I have planned for DJ and Octavio? Well, you'll find out before the end of 2024. At least I hope so.